really, but I don't care.
What is up, my darkness man? And welcome back to the channel. As the title says, WWE2K Cancelled 21 ? This is all coming from Justin Lieber, the guy, and yes, who wrote all 3 Road to WrestleManias in SmackDown vs. Raw 10, 9, 10, and 11. Greatest writer ever.
He's still in the company.
No, he's been gone.
So how can we actually believe him though?
I'm gonna play the video so we all listen. So.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Lieber here, Mr. Road to WrestleMania, with a quick video for you that I think is very important, however, and I wanted to bring it to you because nobody else is talking about it. So not to bury the lead, to get right to it, I have heard from reliable sources, and I truly believe that WWE2K21 has been canceled. There will be no game this year. Boom. Now, a very wise and very positive man once said, that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. And I believe that. I mean, those of you even who enjoyed 2K20...
No, wait. Pause it right there. Who the fuck enjoys this game?
An idiot.
Anyway, back to the video.
It's not a very good...
Some people might.
There are a lot of issues, there's stuff that happens on screen and happens behind the scenes, and I believe that I've covered
Some people
most
may
of that
enjoy broken
in previous
games.
videos, so I'm just gonna assume that you're honest.
Yes, I'm learning how to do post moves.
Right now,
Hey, watch out! I can do crossovers now, so.
Oh no.
And I'm also, while doing this, I'm just learning how to do things that I like. I know how to do. I'm just not good at.
Announcement or some news about the upcoming WWE game that did not happen this year. Why is that? Because, as I said before, I have heard from reliable sources, and I truly believe that there will be no WWE 2K20 this year. Now, I'm not the only one who believes that. James, who has a YouTube channel, Gamer, put out a video a couple weeks ago giving his opinion on some reasons why this is not happening. It was a good video. There's some good reasons. I think he's a good guy. I will link to his video in some space around here once I figure out how to do that. So I suggest you watch that after you watch this. But let's not talk about wrestling games right now. Let's talk about chefs, okay? Let's talk about chefs. Now, I do not think that 2K games or visual concepts are bad chefs. However, they served us a bad game. Now, it's not always easy for chefs to make the best meal, especially when they're going into a kitchen or the appliances are foreign to them, or even maybe some of the ingredients in the pantry are a little expired. But, be that as it may, we were served a bad game. And of course now there's a pandemic, which means the metaphorical store shelves are probably even more bare, which means that if they want to stock
Like a
their
wrestler?
shelves, they have to go to 7-Eleven and try and pick from what's over there to fill out those empty spaces, and good luck with that, right? Now, but back to this being a good thing. I've been talking about how I think they should take a year off for quite a while. Other people have been talking about how, man, they should really take a year off and maybe not even make it a yearly thing. And, I was pitching having it be live service with updates and stuff. So, giving it this extra year to bake is a good thing. It can be heated to a golden brown at this point. It can be seasoned better and taste tested to make sure that what we're being served next is going to be fit for human consumption. So that's a good thing, right? I believe it is. However, your plate as a consumer will not be bare this year, because I have heard also that there is another WWE game coming this year. That 2K is publishing a different kind of WWE game from a different kind of game developer that's not Visual Concepts. Now, I could say more on that, but I won't, because I've already probably pissed off a lot of people at 2K, and I've been around long enough to know that you don't want to make marketing people mad. So marketing people, you know, I'll leave them alone, and I will just say that
MLB The Show's
getting a
coverage
different
of
flavor,
Major League Baseball is on
palate
the
cleanser,
air.
if you will, can be a good thing.
Good one on
So
tap for you this
look forward to an announcement about that. Hopefully not from me.
Now batting, Andrew Benintendi.
Now, a little backstory. I heard back in December that cancellation was a 50-50 chance of it happening in this game. Then in January, I heard, no, it's medium speed ahead, and you're going to get just about the same thing as, 2K20, for better or for worse. And I was kind of bummed, but not super surprised. But this news that I've got, this news that I'm giving to you, is, late enough in the game where I'm pretty sure that this is final. They are stopping. They're not putting out a game. WWE2K21. As I said before, they're putting out some other game, not Visual Concepts, not in this, mainline 2K series, but no 2K21. Then, when, let's say 2K22 finally does come out, a bit of a bummer is
Dude, God, Foss. I think I can dunk it from the free throw with Draymond almost.
Okay, 3-minute points that he made, and we'll talk about this. He said they talked about, back in December, a 50-50 chance of cancellation.
I can care less right now.
Now, Storm, let me get your thoughts on what you heard from the king of Road to WrestleMania.
Well, what's interesting is he mentioned about 22. The other different points that caught my attention was, well, releasing a whole different WWE game. 2K's publishing.
A non-simulation. That makes an interesting point. Because what do you call a non-simulation game? Okay. WWE All-Stars. Lesnar WrestleMania. Like that.
WrestleMania was fun.
But another thing that he said that caught my... was he said he has... that they was talking about cancellation in December. 2 months after it released.
Well, what's interesting is he's sitting here talking about, but what really caught attention was, we're going to have a whole different game being published.
Yep.
And then he talked a little bit.
Draymond, can you make a 3?
He talked a little bit about what 21's doing. Or 22, I mean, rather. Like, well, we don't know what's 22's going, blah, 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 blah. What I want to know is what source is he talking about?
Yeah, because how are we supposed to believe him? He don't work for WWE anymore.
I'm going to say
no,
this.
He says a reliable source told me this, this, and this. Okay, what's the source?
Oh, okay, I'm going to say this when he said sources. Do I believe him? He has not been wrong in the past when he said budget cuts. He talked about that last year.
Budget cuts, of course.
He said, if you watch his older videos, about 20, he said 2K21 may... that half the people in 2K left because they didn't want to associate themselves with a disaster.
Well, here's the thing. Look at the new Halo game that's coming out for the new ad spots.
Yep.
We got another Halo game?
No, but listen. The people at 343 Studios were working on it, and there was just a huge problem going on, and a lot of people left because they don't want to be associated with it.
How many Halo games are they gonna make?
No,
back on topic. Back on topic.
The point is,
I don't care about this.
The point I'm making is that it's kind of interesting that 2K did the same thing that 343 Studios did. Abandoned ship. Because
they fired 2K back in 2018, but they allowed them to finish 2K19.
Well, some of it just don't make sense, though. Why would you fire somebody? Oh, you just got fired, you said.
No, they didn't fire 2K. They said if they don't make 19 good, they were going to get rid of them. And they made 19 good.
Well, that's because they had time.
And people weren't rushing them to get it done. Which is I still
Which
think
was
people
us,
who
the
were watching
Sumos.
them are
Ukes knows how to develop a game.
Oh, that's
Because-
because they probably mastered it.
Yep. Not only that, this is the truth. The reason why 2K fired Ukes because they wanted to develop WWE games themselves,
Kawhi
and they
sold for
failed
$55,000.
because they didn't know their users code
Yeah.
to publish it
I have
because
50,000
it was in
MT.
a different language.
I have 50,000 MT, boys.
So when they developed it, this is the complete truth. They waited so long for a trailer, so long for gameplay. They knew they fucked up once they did that.
Well, no, the problem is we were sitting here. Everybody was, all the consumers, YouTuber, everybody was sitting here asking 2K, where's the stuff?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Eh.
2K was doing whatever.
They wanted.
It's the head of 2K said, well, you know what? We're doing it. They didn't put WWE as a priority. They haven't. People say, like, NBA 2K18 is the worst game of all time. 17 is the worst game. But let me ask you this.
17 was good. 17 was good.
No, NBA. Let me ask you this, though. For the people that play the NBA games and the WWE games, which is worse? What people say are the worst NBA 2K games of all time? Or WWE2K20?
Or
just
WWE. Because from 18 to 20, all that is just a copy and paste. Basically, that's all it is. Because I'm gonna tell you, they found files in 2K20 labeled 2K18. Now, ain't that fucking suspicious enough?
Well, no, what they did was they did copy and paste because they didn't have time. Why? Because everybody was on their butt asking,
Where's the trailer? Where's the
where
trailer?
is this stuff?
And they waited a month for the trailer. A month before the game was out.
Well, that's because they were sitting here doing copy and paste.
Yep.
It's like if you do an assignment, right? You already did one assignment, you just take it and you just reuse it again for a different class.
You know how many times I've done that?
I've done that a lot.
Not only
But do
this,
you see what I'm saying? No, but the
Go ahead.
person is going. The teacher's going to notice the teachers are going to notice a pattern with the same student in the different classes. Well, here, use this assignment over in this class. Say like English class. Alright, you use that assignment in history and science. Why? You know what I mean? You're going to notice a pattern.
Work because what type of work would work for both history and science?
But what I'm saying, you do like obviously the treats to like make it like a science article, or you know what I'm saying? You're gonna tweak it just a little bit here and there to make it different than what you did for English. That's what WWE did with 18 through 20. 18's the English assignment that they wrote. They just took it to 19, which is the history assignment, and they changed some little things on it.
Come on, Trey Young. Can I find
Added a few
50K?
things, deleted a few things,
Can I find it?
and then they
Trey
took
Young
that
for
assignment
50,000.
and went to 20, which is the science class, and treated it again.
and with all these patch updates, after, I think they just got tired of patching it, but because they knew, we're fucking done with this game.
The problem with the patches is a patch is supposed to help update the game,
Yep.
right?
But they didn't. Some of the
But
patches,
here's the issue.
it made it worse.
Bingo. It's not helping the game.
Clay Thompson.
The problem is, it's not updating the game. It's
I
breaking the
need
game
Diamond Clay
laws.
Thompson.
That's like, oh, okay, let me tell you my first experience with the 2K20.
the EM
I always upload images to the servers so I can download them. Okay, on that same night of release, I tried to download an image to put on a custom character, and it didn't work. Right then I knew there was a problem. asked him on his experience. Yeah, when he knew there was a problem.
It just kept crashing.
It was a tag team match that we did.
Every 2 seconds, it just kept going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. Anyway, the tag team matches.
On the tag team matches, okay? So you got... And save it's me, Storm, and Ethan on the tag team match. Okay? That did the opposite.
One of us would legit get put over on the enemy team and it becomes 2-on-1 handicap.
That's how we... But I ain't trying to...
That was an issue, though.
I'm not trying to settle nobody, okay? I'm not trying to say nobody's bad, but Lewis, because he said there was no problem with it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, deep down inside, he is the problem. Because he actually officially admitted there was a problem.
And now,
how long?
Part
That's like
about
WWE. Look at WWE. Look at what they're doing. There was an issue, though.
No.
Vince is
WWE
the
blames 2K for the problems.
Well, yeah, you know what? Vince fired how many people and released how many people?
Today, if you don't,
Well, no,
if you,
he did that for a reason.
If you didn't hear the news,
They're
people,
rebuilding.
WWE released 28 people
Well, here's the thing,
because they stayed at home due to this virus.
Well, here's the thing. I understand, like, if you're going to do rebuilding, you have to cut people. But why cut people? I understand, like, if you're not doing anything with them. Okay. You could just cut the people that you're not really doing anything with.
EC3, he cut and he wasn't doing anything with EC3.
That I can believe.
EC3...
Heath Slater, Eric Rowan,
and
Skeleton
There's
Anderson.
a reason why Heath Slater was released. He's gonna come back buffed up, get the WWE title. There it is. Drew McIntyre said, you legit, Drew McIntyre said a couple of days ago after he won that, you get out of the WWE, you get buffed, and look, a couple days later he's out of the WWE. Man's gonna get jacked up, he's gonna come back, win the world title, and then, you know what that means? 3MB is finished. All 3 members won the world title.
But here's my question. It was what sense does that make when you leave the WWE and then you come back jacked and then you get a title shot? That makes no sense.
I'm gonna say this about the releases. So you got people at home trying to stay safe, okay? Then you fired them because you felt like they wouldn't, because you didn't like it.
Well, you know what? Hey, Trump even said he's blaming Vince McMahon and Dana White to reopen the economy.
That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. Because
Now,
this,
my question is,
this
Sure
whole
he didn't get rid of them
wait.
because they wanted to stay home? Like
No, my question would be-
got rid of them because they wanted to stay there.
hold on,
Yeah.
Ethan.
my question is, why they Vince I can understand because
Yes.
you're butt buddies with him, which is whatever. Vince is just as stupid as Trump is, but that's a whole different topic. But my question is why are you bringing in Dana White?
Yeah, seriously. He's the smart guy that gives his fighters away.
Now that's something I don't understand is why Dana's getting involved with this. Okay, he sat here and said that WWE wrestling's fake, and that pissed off Brock Lesnar, which is one thing. But you're sitting here going with Trump now to reopen the economy? What the hell are you doing?
I'm gonna say something about that. Why would you reopen the economy when this shit is not completely done? You reopen the economy, people are still gonna get infected, make things worse. Because
It don't matter.
Because I watched it last night. I watched him go after the media because he said I can do whatever I want to. I don't listen to the news because all news is fake. He says I'm going to reopen every state and there's no governor that's going to stop me.
Did you see what DeSantis down here in Florida said? That WWE's an essential business.
Yep.
The hell sense does that make?
I believe Vince paid him off. That's what I believe.
Oh boy.
That's what I believe.
Oh no.
I believe Vince paid him off.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Why would Vince pay his own money just so he can do wrestling matches?
So why do you think so? Because he can keep the live events. That's why he did it, so he can make the shows live again. Only obstacle. Explanation why he did it.
Yeah, true.
But back to 2K20. It's such a damn shit show. None of that. A lot of people don't know is 2K and the NFL signed a deal. By next year, 2K will make
supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
2K is coming back to make the
They will
NFL
make a
games, which EA has been conquering for how many years since.
Let me see how many
NFL
sports games 2K have produced. MLB
EA.
2K.
No, not EA.
MLB 2K lasted from 2K5 to 2K13.
How much did you
MLB!
release that for?
No, NBA. MLB is the greatest 2K series ever. And then you had the NFL series,
NFL.
which failed miserably.
Well, here's EA. You had the NCAA. You had NHL. You had NBA Live. Football. You had football that you always have at EA.
Yep.
Even way back in the 80s with John Madden football. They signed a deal though. Way back.
Marcus Sauce, Pink Diamond.
I'm gonna say this though.
What else? You had a bunch of different titles that EA was working on.
I'm looking at
You just
2K
can't.
Pink Diamond.
was working on the same titles as EA, except for the NCAA one.
Hey,
Yep.
boss, what center should I get that Pink Diamond?
But
I don't know.
when
I got Alonzo Mourning, Christian Latner.
and I'm gonna say this: if
not sure.
this series is indeed canceled for one more year, and then they come back and they fuck up again, you better find a different
I don't know. We'll talk about that
publisher.
later. Well, no, the issue is it ain't the publisher's fault. The problem is it's the internal. Somebody at 2K has not killed about
2K don't give a 2K don't give a fuck about their fans.
No, look at the NFL and MLB games from 2K. They were not the top priority. The only priority 2K had was the NBA.
Yep.
That's always been, and that's the bread and butter for 2K
And I believe,
is NBA.
after they signed a deal with WWE, they knew they didn't like that. They knew.
But they had to take the focus from NBA and change it to WWE. They've done this for how many years? Where they had NBA 2K.
Yep. for a long time. A long time.
So then why would we take our focus and put it over to a wrestling game? Well, we don't care about it. Look at the history that we have. Yeah, sure, Bioshock did really good.
Mafia.
Bioshock 1 and 2. The Mafia 2 did great.
Yes, it did.
Borderlands did good.
Yes.
But
that was a long process.
But the thing is, they're not as successful as the NBA franchise has
Nope.
been. Yes, they are successful franchises on their own. Don't get me wrong.
But no.
Bioshock 1 and 2 is one of the greatest 2K games. It's one of the greatest games to ever be made.
Yep.
It is as good as Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
But I'm also going to say this. Okay, you got developers that patches the games for the NBA games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who does a fantastic job at patching the games. No
But
problem.
that's because the focus and the resources are put into the
But
game.
I believe that once they fired Ukes, they knew what they was doing that whole time.
But the thing, well, it made sense though, if you want. Well, here's a perfect example. Everybody knows the car company Ford.
Yep.
They had a deal with another company called International that made diesel engines. One of the most popular engines that were ever in a Ford pickup was the 7.3 power stroke. It is the greatest engine that in mankind's history. What Ford did they had an agreement through 2012 for the international engines being put in now. The 7.3 was the best engine Ford made, that Ford had for the diesels.
Lit.
In 2003, that's when the problem started, I believe, for Ford. Because when 2003, the government was doing changes for the engines for emissions and whatnot. So it says we designed the 7.3, which would take, God, I don't know how, way too much money and brain power. What International did was made a 6-liter. And the 2003 6-liter is the worst engine of all time. They had so many problems in 03. It ain't even funny.
Oh God.
But they still had the 7.3 though, mind you. So
But
you had the exact same truck with 2 different engines.
Yep.
So which one do you go with? Well, if you were going to buy a new Ford, go with the 7.3. Why? It's been reliable. It hardly ever would die. It's just a great engine. It's like the 5.9 Cummins. You can't kill the son of a bitch. It's still alive.
But there's a couple points what he said that makes sense. He said that during WrestleMania season, they get the people to scan them and do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen. Usually around this time we get like a pre-order notice, something.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got jack.
Right. Like going back to what I was saying with the diesels and the Ford and all that. So the 6-liter was a huge issue, right? They finally got stuff straightened out in 2006 and 2007. They finally got everything straightened out. But from 04 to 05, it's just been nothing but issues. When 04 came around, they still had the same engine, but some of the issues were resolved. 05, same thing, a little more of the problems were resolved. Look at like 04 and 05 as patches, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're fixing stupid little things. They're not fixing everything. 06 and 07, look at those as patches. From 04 to 7 as patches. They finally got everything straightened out in 06 and 07. And then 2008.
I am such a big brain.
Hold on. And then 2008, they released the 6.4. Now, the 6.4 is an issue as a problem vehicle. Problem engine, I mean. Because once you get to 200,000 miles, something's, a major component's going.
Yep.
And so then, it's like one of those game-breaking glitches. At a certain point, it's going to break. Right? Like when we split or when we get changed over to doing a tag team match, one of us gets swapped over to the other team. That's a breaking moment for the game. Look at it as an equivalent to like a high pressure oil pump going to hell or some stupid, you know what I mean? They kept that for 2 years in 2010. Now mind you, the contract was to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
What Ford did was voided that contract by making their own engine in-house in 2011. Granted, it was a problem. There was a lot of things that went wrong with that, but they finally, like the 6-liter, once they finally got it straightened out, it's been doing good since. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, it's the same thing with Utes and 2K. 2K voided their contract by firing Utes to make the game in-house. But they allowed Utes to finish doing the game for them. That makes sense? Pretty much the engines were patches and different versions of the game, and each game got worse.
Yep.
Like 20 is the 2003 6-liter. Just absolute garbage.
What I can't understand from when he said It says 2K22, yeah, will not be on the next gen consoles. Excuse me? That's typical 2K right there. Typical 2K.
Well,
Because
my
you remember,
question is there gonna be a 2K22?
true. Do you remember 2K15?
20 is only got on.
Do you remember the first release
Oh
on
dear God, so much to do
how
on the
they had a
evolution
scheduled
from
release with
Arkansas.
2K15 in October, but then
I thought
they
maybe I
switched
had
it
big
to
brain,
November
No, you don't.
so I bought
because
the diamond
15 had
for
problems too though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I can evolve it. It shouldn't take too long. 1,600 points.
Yeah, it's not easy doing them all. But
Yeah,
I know
but
what you're
guys, I'm gonna say
saying.
this though. Yeah, if we end it,
Issue.
what do you guys think about this whole situation? If you have not seen this channel, he's on his name Violently
Six,
on YouTube.
foot five.
Please go check him out because we have got no news from 2K, which is
Oh, you
typical.
know why? Because 2K don't want the publicity that they
Which is
have.
typical.
20.
But
Or maybe
If this
because
is
they
true,
don't want to get rushed again by
we-
everyone.
we will.
That is true.
If this is true, they will be releasing a non-sim, and I swear to God, if it's
Highly
WWE,
possible.
and
Who
that-
knows, so.
because if I swear to God, if it's WWE Crush Hour, I'm gonna get mad.
Hey, Crash Out wasn't that bad. That's the one with the vessels in the vehicles, right?
Yes, it is.
Hey, that was not that bad.
But and they said a non-sim based, but from when he
We'll
said
find out.
he said not produced by 2K, but published by 2K. That strikes me as what the fuck.
It's odd that you would say that. I want to know, though, who's the reliable source telling them this information.
It could be somebody in 2K.
It's gotta be.
I mean,
Because who else would sit here and tell them, oh, well, we're
If it's
not
someone
going
from,
to
why
do the
would someone
game,
from 2K do that? That's retarded.
because
They're
probably
trying
he
to
used to have
make a
somebody
good thing.
work for him for
Yeah, but they could just surely get fired for that.
now that he kissed it on the wraps.
Hey, if you're friends with the
If
head
it's
of 2K,
anonymous, then they won't know it's him.
or look at it this way.
Now,
If you're the
2K starts
head,
getting suspicious.
let's say, like, look at it this way, Ethan. Say Rob's the head of 2K, right? And I used to work with him or whatever. And you guys are the developers, right?
Yep.
He tells me what's going on, and I relay it. You know what I mean? No one knows. It's the boss telling me what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Xander wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, and Dave wouldn't know what Rob's telling me. If he told you, okay. If he didn't tell you, you don't need to know.
Because if you go on his Twitter, and he said, I have multiple sources that tells me these things. That tells you something. He had somebody in 2K telling him these things.
Well, look at it this way. Let's say Dave, Xander, Ethan, and you, Rob, all work in 2K, right?
Yep.
And you guys are giving me... You guys don't know what information you're telling me, but it's all the same. I can confirm it from all four of you what's going on. So you guys confirmed it.
But guys, that's just your thoughts about the cancellation of 21, possibly, question mark. But
Well, if 2K was smart, they would get rid of it and delay the game. But
Yep.
regardless of what the contract says.
what he said earlier about how everybody wants them to take a year off, maybe that's their best plan. Take a year off.
Well, look at like NBA Live. Look at how long they went without a game. Till they came back with what?
Well, yeah,
19?
they're still. Yeah, and they
No,
haven't come out
18.
with a new one. That's 18, and they haven't came out with 20 yet because they're still updating 19.
Look at 16 to 18. That's what?
That's why I
2015
think
to
they should do the
2017?
19. They should wait, and they should just keep 19 servers up and keep updating it throughout the year.
But you got
Because the same, no.
no,
EA.
but no one,
I got-
2K Ethan, They don't give a fuck about the servers. They ain't gonna keep the servers up because they don't give a fuck about the fans. They only care about the money.
It's here that was.
But you know what's funny though is that you can go into multiplayer. I think in BioShock 2, possibly, and find a game. So the servers are still up for them.
To fix that game, but
what a lot of people don't know is on SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, the servers are still up. You can still play online, but you got to have a code to get online to play.
You have to buy the game right now.
Yep, to get that code. That is the only reason how you can play online. That's it.
But that's the older games.
Yep. These new games, you can't do shit.
Though, they did
because,
that?
Yeah, the reason why because 2K has all the codes to all the servers.
Of course they do. Well, look at how long ago they were talking about the NBA 2K 15, 16, and 17, but the show was back up for them. Remember they were talking doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, yeah, let's do it. Yes, there were 3 games that people seem to have enjoyed.
Yep.
17 people gave a crap. I can understand why. But
17 was actually underrated.
To some people. But overall though, if you look at the majority of reviews, they shitted on 17 and 18.
I don't know why. 17 was actually decent.
But then when you look at 18 though, then they realized 17 wasn't all that bad. When they compare it to 18.
Oh yeah.
18 to me is a good game.
I like it. The only thing that I like about it is all the glitches in it. That's the only thing I like.
I'm gonna say this.
Fun glitches.
After May 31st,
like the steel step glitch.
You know, people still play 19.
Yeah.
Hell, we still play 19. But after the servers, the backlash that is gonna happen.
Well, people should be expecting it by now.
Huh? We ain't gonna play wrestling.
I mean, seriously, guys, but yeah. As this story progresses, as I continue to get news, we will let you guys know because obviously this is 2K. This is on them, not WWE.
No,
this is on 2K.
No, it is not on 2K or WWE. It is on everybody, us included. Because what happened was we rushed 2K to get the game out.
At least the people that rushed them.
The consumers are at fault for this. WWE is also at fault. Everybody's at fault. Not just one person, everybody is.
If there's one last 2K WWE game that was good, it was 2K14. Why? Because it was not produced.
2K19.
That was not. 14 was not produced by 2K. It was produced by Ukes and THQ.
I was thinking 19 because 19 is actually really good. Granted, in the beginning it was broken.
Yeah, it was.
But they fixed it.
Split.
Thanks to Ukes. Ukes fixed it.
But splits was always in the game.
Yeah, but with the patch that they finally
Thank you,
released,
Ukes, for
that.
Thank you for that.
It fixed the whole issue. 20, it happens all the time. They have not fixed that splitting issue.
The one thing I didn't like about 2K is every time you go on your custom character to try to do something, crash, crash, crash.
I played the single player, and it crashed on me.
A lot of people had trouble with the my career. I finished my career with no problems because I didn't put no images on there because that's what fucked it up.
Well, look at me.
And even my career split.
Well, look at me. I played the regular game. There's a regular match offline, and the game crashed on me.
Yep.
Nope. Yes, granted, it has gotten better though. The splits ain't happening as quick, but they still happen. You have to get the match done in a certain period of time.
Oh yeah, but guys, yeah, this is just our thoughts about the whole situation, and we'll keep you guys updated. 2K21 Cancelled? ? See you guys later, and see you guys later on, probably today for another auto commentary. And we ain't gonna say what. It'd be a surprise. Peace, guys. Have a good day. Stay safe.